It was just before 10 o'clock this morning when the fire department responded to Labyrinth and Reisterstown Road for a report of some sort of explosion. Once firefighters was on the scene, it was pretty obvious that some sort of explosion did in fact occur, involving a total of 3 homes. At this time, there were 5 people that were involved in that, 3 of which were transported in serious condition to the hospital. We have 1 adult woman who was pronounced deceased on the scene, and we are actively recovering 2 additional people. In fact, 1 person was rescued and being transported just moments ago. Right now, it's unclear on what caused the explosion. We are continuing to search for any additional occupants that may or possibly could have been in the homes. And again, the cause remains under investigation.
So you're still actively looking possibly for 1 individual in the debris?
We have our eyes on 1 additional person that we're trying to pull out right now.
Can you tell us if they are a child?
At this time, it's unclear on the age or gender. We don't have that information right now. It's still a pretty active scene.
Is that person responding to people that just came out? Is that person responding to?
We don't have that information right now, but we have our eyes on that person.
2 people just came out on stretchers. I asked one lady, "Are you okay?" She gave a thumbs up, and another just came out. Can you tell me where they were, what was involved in that rescue?
It was 3 homes involved, so we're not sure where they were in either of their homes or what floor they were on. But what we do know is that they were beneath all of the rubble.
Can you describe the rescue and the feeling among the people?
What's the question?
Can you describe the rescue and the feeling among the rescuers?
It's a labor-intensive rescue. Again, it was a major gas explosion. So you have homes that were, pretty much crumbled. A ton of debris on the ground. So we're pulling and trying to comb through to see if we can find any additional occupants.
Let me just say this has been a joint effort. And first of all, we want to thank our Baltimore County members who have stepped in and working with us. So this is a joint operation that we're doing right now, and we're working diligently. As Claire said, this is a very labor-intense situation. So we are on top of it and trying to see if there are any other victims that are involved at this point in time. As far as the cause of this incident, it's strictly under investigation at this point.
What type of equipment are you using to either remove debris? We saw the Bobcat, the backhoe. Is that for BG&E to clear gas lines? What exactly the equipment process?
That equipment just came in. Right now, we're not using that. Our firefighters have been basically using their hands and tools, searching for people at this point in time. Our search and rescue units are on the scene. Our collapse units are on the scene. We're shoring up things. We're getting all the support from all other agencies at this time. So this is a very joint operation, as I said, and we are working diligently to try to make sure that we are recovering every victim that may be involved in this situation.
Utilities to the immediate area, have they been shut off?
Most of the utilities have been shut off, and what we're doing, we're also checking additional homes within the area. This was a very intense explosion to this point.
Can you tell us if windows have
Next question over here. Lowell?
Can you remember any type of explosion like this happening before over the years? It seems like this is pretty...
Years back, we had one over in East Baltimore similar to this, where basically the walls fell down. Yeah, and I don't know if you remember, we actually lost a kid walking home from school. I remember that very vividly. But right now, this is a horrendous type situation that we're dealing with at this point.
We heard windows were blown out from nearby homes. Is that true?
Adjacent homes as well.
Clark, can you say whether any children were hurt?
We don't know at this time.
And do you know which houses specifically were involved?
We don't have the actual addresses of all
total
of
of 3.
But it's a total of 3 homes.
It's the 4200 block of Labyrinth Road.
Correct. As we were coming up to the additional people that were pulled from the rubble, they are being transported as well. 4 so far, yes, and the other one may be getting ready to be transported.
So right now you are possibly looking for individuals.
We have to confirm the number. We are unclear at this time.
Take one more question.
You're from the mayor? Have you had a chance to look around and see, or what did you see over there?
Yeah, I had a chance to look around, but all I want to say is I just want to offer my prayers to all of the people who lived in these houses and the surrounding community. I just want to offer my prayers that everyone turns out safe. I know they still have a rescue with a couple more people, but all I want to do is offer my prayers, Mr. President.
Thank you. I mean, listen, this is a tragedy. What we need Baltimore to do right now is pray. Pray that we're able to find folks. Pray that we're able to get these folks out of here. You can see the devastation that this has caused for the community. You can imagine the pain and frustration that folks are feeling. We have to be thankful to our first responders, fire, EMS, emergency management, thankful to the Baltimore County for their assistance. But right now, this is just something that we all have to be hopeful as they continue to work that we're able to get more people out of it.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. We'll give you updates as they come in.
If we have any more info, we'll provide an update as soon as we can. Okay?
We'll update you as they come in.
We'll be checking back in. We want to talk now with Councilman Isaac Yitzi Schleifer. He represents the district where this explosion is happening. He's joining us live on the phone right now. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So what are you hearing anything about the rescue efforts that are underway?
I am 50 feet from it, watching it with my own eyes. There's currently many firefighters who are digging their way into where they suspect there's somebody, and so they are working on that right now.
Councilman Schleifer, we had heard reports that one person under the rubble was communicating with crews. Is that the case?
There was communication, which is how they know that there was somebody over there.
We lost you at the end there. We heard you say that there was at one point. Is there still communication?
Yeah. Well, right now they're frantically trying to take the person out and cut their way to this division.
And I know there's a lot going on in the scene where you are. You've got crews all over. It's a little difficult to hear you, but it sounded as though you said that they were trying to cut the person out of the debris.
Yes, that is correct.
And can you see the person? Can you see them at all?
I cannot see them, but I can see the firefighters who are right next to them.
And again, I know there's a lot of unknowns right now. We were hearing that there was just one person trapped. Is that the case? Are there more?
I can't confirm the exact numbers. I do know that there has been people who have been pulled out. I've seen that earlier when I got here, minutes after it took place. And so those people have been transported to the hospital. And unfortunately, there's been one fatality that we're aware of.
For those people who were rescued and were still with us, how did they look? Were they coherent? Were they responding?
So I was not that close to them. I did notice that a lot of them had a lot of blood on them, and so that's the condition that they were in.
When you got to the scene, I mean, we are looking at the aerial shot right here. I can only imagine what it looks like standing there, right there next to it. What's going through your mind? This is your district.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a very tragic situation, and I mean, the only thing we can do right now, is give these first responders room to do what they need to do, and then everybody else really needs to just be praying for the families and neighbors of those who are affected. I mean, this explosion rocked not only those few homes, but it also blew out windows and behind it. So there's certainly a long road ahead, but we're going to get through this.
Being there down on the scene, we were hearing, of course, gas explosion being mentioned. Any more talk there as you're closer to what's going on?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
We were hearing possible gas explosion. Obviously, when you see a scene like that, that's kind of what you assume. Being there close to the scene, are you hearing that confirmed? Are there talks that BGE is there? What are you seeing?
I mean, that's what I heard as well. But as you could imagine, I mean, it's going to be under investigation, and we're going to find out the exact causes of this tragic situation. But in the meantime, the initial report was that it was a gas explosion.
And just looking, we see debris all over the area. As you were making your way to that scene here this morning, how far does it extend?
The debris?
Yeah.
Yeah, the debris extends pretty much most of the block. And so where I'm standing across the street, I mean, you can tell like the bricks from the homes flew off, hit homes. All the windows are busted out on the entire block, and so it extends pretty far. I have not seen the full extent of the damage. I pulled up as a lot of the emergency personnel was pulling up minutes after the explosion, and so I'm not exactly aware of what the full perimeter looks like.
How long has the rescue been going on for the person that they are currently trying to cut their way out?
I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what time it is right now, so I have no idea.
I understand. Again, we're talking to Councilman Isaac Yitzi Schleifer on the scene right there. We appreciate you taking time to talk with us here this morning.
Yeah, thank you.
We are also getting a tweet. The local city councilman is there on the scene. But